Are you one of those people that takes another extra cup of coffee to get your energy up during the workday? Yeah, you're not alone. I have plenty of coaching clients who come to me and they complain that they don't have enough energy and they stressed out and burn out by the end of the day. And what should we do? What should we do? Well, I'll tell you, there are three boundaries that you can implement in your workplace. And if you're already doing that, yay, kudos to you. But if you're not, you totally should do it because it will be a huge difference in your stress levels. So, the first boundary is that you should implement. It has to do with your availability. Are you that kind of person that always available? You always can be reached. Are you that kind of person that goes on vacation but still have like a laptop because after a day at the beach you still be able to go and log in on your Wi-Fi and make sure that all the emails are nothing emergency, and you're the one who always sitting on the phone and messaging to your manager and asking how things are going? Are you one of those people who like on safari in Africa and then you're going to call your coworker and say is everything is okay? Because you always want to be available in case something happens. Now, why is this happening? First of all, I think it has to do with quite a few things that we learn in our childhood. Number one, we feel like we need to be needed and we need to be useful. Why? Because if you grew up in an environment where you're not being seen and appreciated and validated as a person, just the way you are, without doing anything, okay? You will learn very quickly that, well, if I will not be loved, if I'm not being paid attention to, nobody will feed me. Hence I die. So, that's very childish thinking, but when you're a child, that's what you think. So then you learn immediately that, okay, if I'll get attention somehow, then they will feed me. And I need to be useful, so they will not kick me out of the tribe. So then you become everything the best there is. You can be a very good student, you could be very attentive to people, you could be very clean. Of course, you could be the opposite and making a big mess to get that attention. But most of the time, my clients, those overachievers, those that are constantly running towards horizon and need more and more and more and more to achieve more trophies, be the best employee, maybe a perfectionist. Are you one of those? Ask yourself now. That is happening because you feel you need to be worthy of attention and of just being fed and included into your group. So naturally, especially when you're in a new workplace, you want to make sure that you will prove your worth. So then you will be super available for anyone. Maybe there is a coworker that comes to your table and says, hey, I really cannot have this done on time, but maybe you can do this for me. You may have a lot of things to do right now, even on your own plate. But like, yeah, I totally will take care of this. Because you're afraid that other people will look at you and think, well, that person is never helpful. Like I asked them and they said no. You are afraid to be excluded from the group. Also, there's a lot of fear of abandonment comes. Because if you grew up in an environment where you didn't feel safe and needed and wanted, you will have very strong fear of abandonment because you may feel like those people that now you belong to, and loyalty is very, very important to us, you don't want to disappoint them. So, meaning you will do the best you can, and when it comes to your being available all the time, you could be anywhere in the world, you will be always available on the phone, on your laptop, or whatever there is. And if you catch yourself calling from an African safari to your manager and say, hey, is everything's okay? Do you need me? That is a sign that you totally overdoing it. I have quite a few clients who came to me and they said that they are available through all of the lunch hours. They're available overtime, even weekends. And to tell you the truth, this is what I was. When I came to this country, I worked in a company that I was working overtime. I would be working till like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. if I need to. I was coming over the weekends to work because I wanted to be useful. I wanted to show them that I'm always there. I'm very, very loyal. So hence, you should not fire me and you should not abandon me. I'm very useful. But what happens when you are available all the time to your coworkers, to your family members, to your bosses, to everyone else? They get used to this. So, when somebody just starts working in a place, I tell them, make sure you do not work overtime, especially if they don't pay you for that. Even if they pay you, if they already see that you will do overtime, they will have in their minds, oh, this person is always available. So they start relying on that. So basically, you just employ yourself for another shift. And then you need to ask yourself, this is really important for you to do that. We talk a lot about work life balance. Well, there is no work life balance if you're really not balancing anything. You just work, work, work. Naturally, you're going to get yourself sick. But you see what also happens when you're not available all the time, when you say, I am going to be available after lunch hours from 2 to 4. You can come and talk to me then. Or I am working on this right now and I will get back to you when I'm done with this. Boundaries are a very good idea because people start respecting you more. And then also see like, wow, you are very important. You're doing a very quality job because you are putting all your attention in something else right now. So try this out. Say no to something at work. Tell them that you're not available during lunch hours. You do not pick up work and go work at home over the weekend. I know it could be very stressful, especially if you still feel this fear of abandonment going on. But trust me, as soon as you start doing that, you will see that nobody died. Okay, the second boundary that you totally need to do is the respect boundary. And the respect boundary is, that's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? When somebody is talking down to you, maybe they're raising their voice, or they're making even eye contact, that's making fun of you, rolling their eyes. And I had a client that she said that there was this person in the workplace that they're always making fun of the way she dressed. Now, this is not something they will take to HR. And also, here's the deal. If you grew up in the environment where you're not being validated, supported, or just felt emotionally abandoned, you will be afraid to go to HR. You will be afraid to say, hey, this person does not respect me, or this person is harassing me. You will be afraid of do that because you're loyal to the company. You are loyal to where you work. You are afraid that they will discard you. The fear of abandonment thing. So ask yourself right now, is there anyone in your workplace that you resent? Like you think, oh, I'm going to go to work tomorrow. And you immediately think to yourself, oh, no, I don't want to see that person. Oh, ask yourself, what about that relationship with that person you don't like? Is it the way they talk? Do they put you down? Or you just don't like the way work goes with that person? Maybe it has nothing to do with that person. It could be also that you're being triggered at something reminds you of something that happened to you in the past and is painful. So it's very important for you to really see the people that you hang out the most during the day. And if you're the one who goes to work, you're probably spending a lot of your time with your coworkers. It kind of like becomes your family, really. It's very important to see where that energy goes. Where are you draining yourself? And then try to come up with a plan how to avoid those people that maybe are very toxic, drain your energy, very negative, they put you down. And if you still need a plan, then you need to talk with your manager or HR and so forth, so on. But there are plenty of ways how you can avoid some people and talk to them only by phone, by email. But that boundary, just trust yourself. Start implementing it. And you will see that you're less burnout and less stressed out by the end of the day because somebody is not really sucking that energy out of you, right? And then there's a third boundary. And it's called, it's not my job. Okay? Yes. I will not repeat myself because I already set for the two boundaries why you may be afraid to set that boundary that has, this is not my job description, because of fear of abandonment, fear of that being discarded or just let go of. And I tell you a personal story. There was a long time ago when I was working in this very small private company. I was so afraid that I would be let go of, that I would do anything for the owners of that company. They will send me to pick up their laundry. They would tell me to go feed their cats when they were on vacation. I would go and lock the door for their maid. I would run some groceries for them, anything that they wanted to, because I was afraid to be let go of. And when I think back now, I'm like, that was ridiculous. But if you will not put the boundaries of this is not your job description, people will use you and abuse you. And it could be that you work somewhere and you say, okay, you do A and B, but somebody, another coworker says, hey, can you do the C? If you will say, okay, I'll do the C too, where's the race? Are you working now ABC? Because you were hired only to do AB. What else happens? That the supervisor, a boss, can say, wait a minute, so you can do A, B, and C. If you're doing C and you've been hired only to do A, B, does that mean that the quality of work now is lower? So you see, you being afraid to set those boundaries, what can happen is somebody can have a understanding that you're not really putting all your time and energy and quality in the work what you're supposed to do. So those boundaries, when somebody's asking you, well, I'm late on the project, can you help me out with this and this? Yes, you can maybe help a little bit, but also make sure that you're not doing more than you should, and this is not in your job description. Because what they say, if you want to make more money, you need to get more responsibility, hence more to do, right? But if you say no to the more to do, then you will be continuing working and having more responsibility, less time, less energy for doing something that you should not be doing yet. If you already agree that you want to do more, then you make sure that you're being compensated for that. But again, do you have time for that? This is, of course, all the consideration with talking with your boss and HR and all of those people that you employ with. But remember, in a recap, you really want to make sure everybody respects you. You make sure you're not available for everyone and you're not doing somebody else's job. And those boundaries can be very hard to do. But if you want to have more help, I'm here to help you. Go to my website, beamazingyou.com, and schedule a consultation with me. You can do 30 minutes or the whole hour.